As we spoke about earlier, the fight for the speakership in Washington continues. Earlier today, Jim Jordan's bid fell short, and while the House is not expected to meet again tonight, a second vote on Jordan's bid is expected late tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, with tensions rapidly rising in the Middle East, Biden is currently en route to Israel, but so far the trip, well, it's not exactly going to plan. Following the explosion at the hospital in Gaza, Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas canceled his meeting with Biden, while Biden's planned stop in Jordan to meet with Arab leaders, that also has been canceled. Here with reaction, the host of Tomi Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, Tomi Lahren, and podcast host Tudor Dixon. Tomi, I start with you. Well, first of all, I think it's an embarrassment that all these leaders in the Middle East, they want nothing to do with Joe Biden. How do you interpret it?
Yeah, it's an embarrassment for the United States. They see this president as a non-factor. They see him as weak. They don't feel that they need to meet with him, and they're okay embarrassing not only him, but the United States of America, canceling plans to meet while he is en route to go meet with them. I mean, this is the ultimate diss, and this is their ultimate flex, showing the world that they no longer take the United States seriously. They do not fear us. They do not respect us. And that's because we have this commander-in-chief in the Oval Office. A lot of Americans right now feel rudderless. A lot of Americans are looking at this president, hoping that he'll show signs of leadership and strength. And meanwhile, he can't even use the regular size stairs to board Air Force One. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, Sean. Unfortunately, it's the reality.
You know, and Tudor, we got to give Joey credit here. He actually made it up the stairs and he didn't trip and fall. Operation Keep Joe from Falling, a success so far today, so far on this trip. We'll see over time. I'm not really sure, you know, what then the plan is going to be for Joe Biden in all of this. I wish the Republicans in the House would. I hope they don't go with either a short-term Band-Aid option of empowering maybe the Speaker pro tem for 30, 60, 90 days. I hope they do the hard work that's necessary to pick a speaker. If they want to take my advice, I'd say lock yourself in a room, leave your phones outside, order pizza and egg sandwiches in the morning, and don't leave until you have a speaker come out and the white smoke comes out. But I don't think they're going to follow my advice, and it's certainly not an option for Republicans to make any deal with Hakeem Jeffries, in my view. That would be awful.
No, I think we all agree that they need to come up with a speaker. They have the majority of people supporting Jim Jordan. They have 20 folks that decided that their personal agenda was more important. But this started 2 weeks ago when Matt Gaetz made this decision, and he had no plan. This is why you don't do something like this without a plan. There wasn't a camera he didn't want to have his face in front of last week, but I certainly haven't seen much of Matt Gaetz today. Last night he was saying he had it in single digits. We had 20 Republicans that did not choose Jim Jordan today. I certainly hope that with the state of the country and the state of the world, Republicans come together and tomorrow we can call Jim Jordan Speaker.
You know, Tomi, I'd like to see that. You know, unfortunately, what I see is a little bit of kindergarten in play here, and that is that, you know, you have a lot of angry kids on the playground, and rather than seize the moment where war is breaking out in the Middle East, Hamas and Israel, and war in Europe, and wide open borders and budget appropriations that have not been finished, you would think they would rise to the occasion. I'm not seeing that yet. Will we see that tomorrow?
I certainly hope so, but we have a fatal flaw in the Republican Party. Democrats want to win, and they will win at all costs. And we don't like the way that they win, but nonetheless, they win. It doesn't seem Republicans have an appetite to win. It seems more like they have an appetite to be in the headlines and to throw a wrench in the operation for attention. And Tudor's exactly right about what Matt Gaetz did a couple weeks ago. He pulled the pin on the grenade, and then he stepped away. And now other Republicans are following his lead. I'm not sure why, but they need to go home and tell their constituents why they're not putting a Republican speaker in charge of the House of Representatives. They need to explain that to their constituents and the American people. Again, this is not a good look for the Republican Party. We expect a red wave in November. We're going to have a red wedding if we can't figure out our own party. It's certainly an embarrassment. It's pathetic.
Democrats, they tend to circle the wagons. Republicans, they create circular firing squads, and we got one unfolding right before our eyes. Let's see if they rise to the occasion tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. I do know that you have AOC, Hakeem Jeffries, the Lincoln Project, all urging people to call Congress to have Republicans not vote for Jim Jordan. That ought to tell you everything you need to know about what Republicans should do. Thank you both.